The 9-9. One moment, please. We'll be getting started here momentarily. Welcome, everybody. Let's see how I can do it again. Friday. I'm getting tired of this. Win one, lose one, win one, lose one, win one, lose one. Let's try to have some consistency. Okay, everybody is rested. Wait a minute. I got this. Why does Adley always get hurt? Like, does his durability suck in this game or something? All right, let's see if Dean Primer can turn things around for the Orioles. I love the fan cam.
Leading off tonight for Baltimore, the shortstop.
All right.
Gunnar Henderson.
Ball, that's off the plate.
All right, let's take a look at Michael Wacha. Had a great year for San Diego in 2022, which got in the contract with the Royals. Not off to a great start, but not off to a terrible start. As you see, he's got a 5-pitch mix. There are the batting orders. Anderson, Mountcastle, O'Hearn, Santander, Westberg, Hayes, Urias, McCann, and Mullins. And there is the lineup for the Royals. Here is the defense for the Royals. A battle of the number 1 and number 2 overall picks from the same draft. Adley went first. Bobby Witt went second.
That's a ball.
I'm curious, is there anybody that feels like, see, because if we would have taken, if if we would have taken Bobby Witt first, you can assume that we wouldn't have taken Gunnar Henderson in the second round. But let's just spitball here. Could you imagine the left side of the infield with Gunnar at third and Bobby Witt at short?
Number 6, Ryan.
Ball 1, no strike.
That double was on a contact swing, folks. Contact swing with 2 strikes.
Hey! 1-1.
And the Orioles get on the board first. Mountie drives in Gunnar. Giving Dean Kramer some run support before he even takes the mound. The throw was offline, so it wasn't even close.
He's out.
That's okay. Advance the runner, get that second run in. Here comes Tony Taters. There we go, driving in that run.
The second baseman, Jordan Westberg.
Ball 1. Counts 1-0.
And he flies out to left field. Blanco is there. The Orioles take an early 2-0 lead.
Leading up for the Royals, the designated hitter, Garrett Hampton.
As you can see, Garrett Hampson is not a power guy.
Batting second, the lefty.
Blanco is not having a bad season for the Royals. They're 3-4-5 or 2-3-4. Their lineup doesn't look bad. Again, not a big power guy.
Hey! 0-1's the count.
We are technically holding the third wild card, so if this season was only 18 games, we would be in the playoffs. Ooh.
Batting third, the catcher, Salvador Perez.
Hey! Hey! Two! One ball, two strikes. That's a ball. Three and two. Ball four, takes the base. That's an out.
Good first inning. It's nice to see the Orioles playing.
Austin Hayes.
Hey! Oh!
Batting seventh, the third baseman, Ramon Urias.
All one. Hey! Ball.
Ramon Urias, one of the hotter Orioles on the team. I really thought that was going to drift outside.
Two strikes. Did he go?
A nice double by Ramon Urias.
Batting eighth, the catcher, James McCann.
Ball.
Hello, Mr. Rock. How are you? Alright. What are you up to? You sound different. Oh. Very nice. Well, there's one major one, but I'm not going to say it. Yes. I mean, unless you're looking at this as an investment to grow towards, you know, making streaming your career, which that's going to take time, bud. I mean, you saw what I.
That's ball three. Hey! 3-2.
I understand. Oh, I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just.
No, that's a ball. Take the bait.
Well, I mean, okay. At the same time, and I am streaming, so I am gonna, dance around specifics out of respect for you.
Ball, 2 strikes.
At the same time, you know, and this is nothing I haven't said to you before. If I was in your situation, I would be streaming constantly
Nope. Ball
to work towards the point of potentially, okay, now I can look at it and say I don't have to go back to an office, a retail store, a whatever. You know, I would be sinking my teeth deeper into it. You know, because just like I mean, and I say this with all due respect, I told you all the time, you're not going to grow. How many times did you say to me, you have to be consistent if you're going to grow? And for the most part, I pretty much have streamed every day. May not be the same time every day, but it's the same ballpark, and you can either talk about it or you can do it.
0-1. Hey! 0-2 is the count.
Connect your PlayStation and actually do all the fancy stuff that all the more professional looking streamers do. But if you're spending, but at the same time,
2-2 the
to
count.
use a phrase my father uses, if you're already spending 900, what's 1100? Because the Elgato's what, 2?
I got 3-2.
Leading off for Baltimore, the first baseman, number 6, Ryan Mountcastle.
Yeah. Well, you're not going to stand at all. You're going to be sitting at a desk. That is totally something you would say to me, so you can't even get mad. Okay. I get what you're saying. Like, trust me. I mean, I know. I mean, okay, I've reached partner, but I realize growing from this point is going to be hard because what am I offering that somebody else is not? What reason other than somebody wanting to support me am I? You know what I mean?
The count is full.
That's not to say I'm not proud of what I've accomplished. Yeah. Thank you. No, you wouldn't necessarily be competing because, I mean, I don't look at it as Amish or Amos or anybody is competing with me. You know, I'm doing my Orioles franchise. Amos is doing, like, maybe if Amos and me were both doing an Orioles franchise, I'd feel like, okay, you're doing the same thing I'm doing. But he's doing a Royals and he's doing, you know, the way he's doing it, it's, I'm playing every single game. He's, you know, playing, you know what I mean? So we're not competing. We're in the same genre. We're in the same category, but we're not competing.
3 balls, 1 strike.
Yes, if he was playing, if he said he was going to be the Orioles and he started playing every single game, then yes, it's sort of the same thing I told you when I had, you know, I'd have the same issues I have with you know who. I probably would call him up and be like, hey, dude, what are you doing? You're, you know, but,
That's out.
you know, like, you wouldn't necessarily, let's assume you did a Pirates franchise. You wouldn't necessarily be playing everything. And even if you played every single game, that doesn't mean you're competing with me because you're going to have different storylines going on with different players, different teams. Your playing style is different because you swing at every pitch. I actually try to play baseball. I don't mean that I didn't mean what I said. I didn't mean that rudely. I just when you watch me play, I work the count. You know what I mean? Yeah, my inner frog comes out when I'm off my game. But I've never looked at it as competing. Like, now, that being said, you know, I guess the closest thing you could say, like, I don't like streaming when specifically when Amos is streaming, not because I feel like it's competition, not because I feel like, oh, everybody's going to watch Amos, nobody's going to watch me. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the fact that I want to be able to sit down and relax and enjoy Amos's streams. You know, I have streamed before when Amos is streaming. Again, I don't like doing it because I like to just sit back, relax, and watch a buddy stream. It's not so much the game. I'll say that. I'll just leave it there.
Nope. Two and out.
Yeah.
Aye. 2-1.
Well, it sounds like you've already made up your mind.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, I mean, you got to spend money to make money. And, you know, who knows? You know, 6 months, if you do this 6 months, a year from now, you could look back at that as the greatest decision of your life because you had the time right now because you're struggling finding a job. So who's to say that you couldn't accomplish in 3 months what took me, what, almost a year? I mean, the guy that I told you I used to follow, the one that does MLB stuff that blocked me from his channel, the one that, got console banned for PlayStation. He tells a story. He streams every day for 2, 3, 4 hours a day. And that's how he makes money. And he told the story. He said his wife supported him doing it. He said it was a struggle for the first 3, 4, 5 months. And, he said I don't want to speak for him, so I'm trying to, let's just say he just said it was a struggle. I don't want to, I can't elaborate on, but he said now, I mean, he's, he says he's making more money. He said at one point when I was in one of his streams, he's making more money now as a streamer than he did working a regular job.
That's outside.
Now, oh, I'm not saying, look, I will flat out tell you, if I knew now if I knew 20 years ago what I know now, I'd be as big as Mr. Beast. But I mean, anybody can say that about any walk of life. 25 years ago when I was, in my early high school days, I was still thinking, okay, I'm left-handed. Even if I could only get a handful of batters out because I'm left-handed, I have a decent shot of at least being a bullpen arm. I still had delusions of grandeur of being in a major league bullpen. Notice I said bullpen. I knew I was never going to be no starter.
Ball 2. 2-2 the count. Ball that side.
That's good. I'm guessing it's a local store. Cedric Mullins, wave it bye-bye. Sorry. Holy moly. 469 feet from Cedric Mullins? From Cedric Mullins. Sorry, I didn't mean that. I'm sorry. Well, here's the thing. Again, I go back to the statement I made. You got to spend money to make money.
Oh.
I'm assuming you're referring to a loan. Well, yeah.
Ball 1, no strike.
Yeah. I mean, you could work a good hard 2 weeks of door dashing and make that $900. Or let's say you do get the Diablo and you spend $1,100. You could make that back in 2 to 3 weeks of door dashing. There's one other major thing to consider. Okay? And I really want you to think hard about this. What would Brian do? And apparently he can catch foul balls with his bare hand. Did you see that in our group text last night? So,
Up next for the
so if you get a chance, go in there, scroll up a little bit. I put a video in there from MASN about MASN put out a short of this fan that actually caught a foul ball barehanded, right? So I put it in our group text and I said, realistically, do any of us think we could actually do this? Because I was quite impressed. This foul ball come back pretty fast. And if you look at the angle in which this man caught this ball, that was a darn good catch. The only person that actually responded was Brian. And he said, yeah, I think I could do it. I sit back, I was like, he's the one, and I say this in case he watches the stream, I say this with all due respect. He's the one person in our group that I'm confident that couldn't do it.
First baseman, number 9, Vinny Pasquantino.
I mean, because especially if you look at the angle in which this man caught this ball, I don't know how. Initially, the commentator thought he caught it in his hat. Now, I believe any of us could do that. You know, take the hat off your head, stick the hat out, and the ball go into the hat. Now, with my luck, because the ball would go into the hat so fast, the hat would fly out of my hand, and it would. Yeah. But
Off the plate, ball 1.
when you get home, scroll up in the chat, take a look at this video, and you'll see why I say that was not an easy catch. But all right. Oh, real quick, promise. You know what Old Bay is, right? The Old Bay seasoning, or is that a Baltimore thing, and you don't know what I'm talking about? Okay, so I'm at a snowball stand in my area, right? And the snowball stand had a snowball listed as the Marylander. So I'm reading, and the final topping said Old Bay, and I'm sitting there thinking, now I put Old Bay on a lot of things, but I could never see myself putting Old Bay on a snowball. All right, get going. I'll say this. It's nice to hear you somewhat happy and excited about something. There's a tone in your voice that I haven't heard in a long time. And I'll say this is the last thing I'm going to say. And if getting this computer, if doing this has you feeling like this, do it. Because you can't put a price on happiness. You know what's smart? Go. I'm done with you. I'm done with you for now. Go.
Ball 1.
Gabe, what are you up to?
2 strikes the count.
Hey, Gabe, you're paying attention to my game, right?
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Have I given up a hit yet with Kramer? Oh. Why don't you come? Well, when you're done dinner, why don't you come in Discord? I haven't talked to you in forever.
That's ball 4.
I mean, I know you don't love me anymore, but
Now pitching for the Royals, number 41, Daniel.
did you watch that catch that I'm talking about? Did you watch that foul ball catch and see how the angle that man caught that ball?
Up next for the Orioles, the left fielder, Austin Hayes.
So how come you don't come in Discord and talk to me anymore? What did I do wrong? Help me become a better person. What did I do wrong? Because I missed my buddy. Do you think you could catch that ball? If you say so. I sure feel like I did. Six nothing. Even I couldn't blow this lead. Well, Brian could catch that ball barehanded, just like that. I'm sorry, like I said, I don't believe that for a second. There ain't no way. Oh,
Ball, that's in. Nope. No, that's a foul ball.
I think the Orioles are actually gonna ever win a game again.
Hey, that ball got.
Well, there goes the.
The second baseman, Matty.
Oh, good.
Good one.
I couldn't agree with you more.
That's a ball.
We might as well restart the rebuild. Trade away Adley, trade away Gunnar.
Up next to the Royals, the center fielder, Liotta.
Yep. I see we're already down 1-0. Who's pitching tonight?
Out. Got it.
Now batting, the third baseman, Mike Trout-less
0-1's the count.
Aren't you president of the Cole Urban fan club?
Leading off for the Orioles,
Because I heard you were the president of the Cole Urban fan club. You're a president of the Keegan Aiken fan club too.
Cedric Mullins.
He's out.
Now batting, the shortstop, Gunnar Henderson.
I know you're the vice president of the Gunnar Henderson fan club.
That's a ball.
Actually, no, you're the Secretary of State or Speaker of the House.
Hey.
The president and vice president of the Gunnar Henderson fan club are me and Pigtown.
2 the count. Count's full.
You called that a swing? Wow. That was rude.
Ball 1. Counts 1-0.
Let's see if Dean Kramer can turn this into a quality start. I was right, by the way. Heston Kjerstad played well last night, but Hyde doesn't have him in the lineup again or today. Yeah, the Orioles took a 2-1 lead.
The catcher, number 13.
How'd they get the runs?
Ball.
Oh, Gunnar hit a homer, huh? I'm still waiting for you to trade Gunnar to me.
2 balls, 1 strike.
I mean, I offered you Adley, Jose Ramirez, and Ellie De La Cruz. Even for the package I just said? Cedric Mullins runs it down like he's Ken Griffey Jr. out there.
Now batting, the right fielder, Anthony Santander. Now batting, second baseman, Jordan Westburg.
Jordan Westburg with an automatic double. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking that as much as I like Adley, I should have traded you Adley and kept Gunnar.
Now batting, third baseman, Ramon Urias.
All one's the count. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Finish him.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm glad I basically am going to have,
He's out.
depending on your perspective, the number one or number two catcher and fantasy for the next however many years he stays a catcher. But I mean, man, it hurt giving out Gunnar.
One ball, two strikes.
Actually, I take it back. It didn't hurt giving up Gunnar because I knew I was giving him to another Orioles fan. I would have never traded him to anybody but you because
Three.
this might be one of the best games I've ever pitched
Ball, that's out.
so far.
Ball.
Oh, come on. You know you want extras.
Aye.
Don't forget, Gabe, you become a channel member. You can set lineups, call pitches, and you have access to those awesome emojis.
Aye. 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 Two. 0-2.
And he goes 7 innings.
Yeah. 0-1.
Now batting, the center fielder, Cedric Mullins. Now batting, the shortstop, Gunnar Henderson.
Aye. 0-1's the count. Out.
Oh, we're losing again. Now it's 3-2.
Now pitching for Baltimore, number 45, Keegan Aiken.
Ball, that's in. Two and oh. Aye. 2 balls, 1 strike.
You know, for all the jokes we talk about with Keegan Aiken, he doesn't have bad numbers this year.
Ball 1. Ball 1, no strike. Ball, that's out. That's ball 3.
That's because you're the president of his fan club. I'm even thinking about getting you a Keegan Aiken jersey.
Ball, that's inside. Ball 2.
Did you see the crazy trade idea floating around Twitter? Well, before I tell you this crazy trade idea, are you still eating? Because I don't want to cause you to choke. I'll just say this. If the Orioles were to do this trade, I might find a new fan to be a.
Leading off for the Orioles, the first baseman.
So the Orioles would get, and for the record, I have not seen this from this isn't coming from Ken Rosenthal or anything. I just happened to see this on Twitter. The Orioles would get from the Oakland A's Brent Rooker and Mason Miller for Kobe Mayo, Dylan Beavers, Chase McDermott, and Billy Cook. That is a hard no for me. Matter of fact, I'll go as far as to say I couldn't say no fast enough to that trade. And if Mike Elias were to do that trade, he'd be an idiot.
Got him.
Up next for the Orioles, the right fielder, Anthony Santander.
There's no way Mike Elias. There's. I don't even know if I would give up Kobe Mayo for Mason Miller. Number one, I don't know that Brent Rooker cracks our starting lineup. Number two, because realistically, are you starting Brent Rooker over Ryan O'Hearn? No, at DH. Are you starting Brent Rooker over um Santander? No. Are you starting him over Mullins? Maybe, but he can't play center field. And like as long as Heston's up here, I'm not starting him over Heston. I don't know for sure that I would start him over Hayes. I would definitely start Rooker over Cowser right now. And Mason Miller, that guy's going to need Tommy John surgery by the All-Star break. Yeah. Well, I know his. Are you saying his defense isn't that good? I mean, me personally, I would put Heston at first base, but he's blocked there by Mountcastle. All right. You know what? Let's play two. Let's do what Ernie Banks would do. Let's play two. Okay. Obviously, let's go to the calendar. All right. All right. All right, Gabe. I'm gonna let you choose. Who should I player lock? Jackson Holiday, Mayo, Heston, Fabian Cook. I really don't want to player lock a catcher because I don't want to have to try to catch the pitches. Beavers? Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp.
Jumbo Shrimp. Kyle Tyler.
Batting six, the center fielder, Dylan.
It's a. Have you ever sat back and looked at the names of the minor league teams?
Ball outside.
There are some wacky names.
Foul ball.
Oh crap! You got me in center field, Gabe. Don't hit it to me. Don't hit it to me.
Out.
Really?
Now playing second base, number 50,
Oh well, you can't say the game's not true to life.
the center fielder, Dylan Beaver.
That's the ball. Hook. One ball, one strike.
That was a good sound. And it's gone. Well, the day he comes off the IL and realizes he might end up on the IL in the game. But there you go, I homered with Beavers.
Leading up for the Jumbo Shrimp, the second baseman, Tristan Gray.
This is one of the reasons I don't play Road to the Show, because I'm not good at this. Or that.
Now batting, the center fielder, Dylan Beaver.
Yeah. Come on now. 1-1. 1-1. Drive it like let's go. High. 1-2.
Just not my cup of tea, the idea of being one player.
He's out.
Leading off for Norfolk, the center fielder, Dylan Beaver.
Hey, no one down here. One. Got him.
Then he almost beat that out.
Now batting, right fielder, Matty.
Please don't hit it over my head, and I have to catch it or I lose.
Find the ball.
Now batting,
Well, that's not good.
our final line score, first for the victorious Ties, 3 runs.
All right, let's see who you're going to pick for Double A. You probably don't know as many of these names as you do AAA, but we'll see. Oh, only out for a few days. He can stay active. All right. Hello. Yes, but I had a busy day at work. Came home. I started streaming, so I hadn't really. I don't know that you can. I'll take a look. Who do you want me to be? Who did you want me to be? Gabe. Well, no, he said Beavers, but now I asked him about Double A. Velasquez. You want me to play shortstop? Oh God. Maybe maybe I won't get any. Maybe I won't get any fielding opportunities. Next thing you know, he's going to tell me he want me to play catcher, and I have to try to catch the pitches. Don't even think about it. Not you, Gabe.
And now, your
Yep. Oh, great. Gabe, I'm really not liking you right now. What the heck? Why did I have to hit a bunch of buttons at once?
leading up for the baseoff, the shortstop, number 22.
I didn't have to do that in the outfield. All I had to do was hit one button. Well, I fielded the ball. I told you, I don't do this. But I did say I wanted to do this kind of stuff. You know, put a spotlight on the minors with this whole restart. That was a part of the purpose of the restart. Why? I pushed square. Square's first base.
Now batting, right field.
Obviously. I didn't mean that rudely. I just. So wait a minute. If I had triangle, is it going to throw home and X is second base? So why are first and third reversed? Oh, duh. All right, so I did hit the wrong button. Oh, stop making me field. Gabe would do that.
Now batting, number 22.
Hey, we're winning despite my errors. Okay, no more balls hit to me. No more balls hit to me. No, I don't need to play Road to the Show. Thank you very much. Oh my God. I'm never playing Road to the Show. Never. Could you imagine me trying to be a catcher? No. All right. Cole Irvin. Pitching in real life, now he's pitching for me. Oh, I'll tell you what. No, never mind. I ain't going to say what I'm about to say. Because you'll actually do it and hold me to it. I was going to say, Gabe, if you got a membership to my channel, I might consider doing a Road to the Show, but I want to know what Kyle Stowers did to somebody at SDS to make them give him such horrible defensive ratings. Like his reaction is dog do. You're gonna have to keep giving me score updates. Actually, I Seth Lugo.
First pitch, 6-10.
I see you picked one of your logos. I was going to throw an old Indians logo on there, but I didn't want to offend anybody.
Ryan O'Hearn.
Well, yeah, because at that point it's not a rumor anymore. Then it actually happened. That's not happening. They're not. They're not going to go back to being the Indians. You have a better chance of the Guardians winning the World Series than that happening. Yeah, they could trade for a hurt Bo Bichette. Well, according to Jeff Passan, we're going to make a trade for Garrett Crochet, which I personally think would be a huge mistake. Because here's the thing: it's his first year as a starter. He's going to be on an innings limit, and at the time that we need him, come September and October, he may have a freaking dead arm.
The catcher, Salvador Perez.
1-1. Hey, Hey, Gabe, who did I give you? If I remember right, I gave you. Really? Who did I give you? That was the Adley Rushman or the Ellie De La Cruz trade, right? I threw Garrett Crochet in. I gave you Volpe and Crochet for Ellie, right? Boy do I look I feel like I gave up too much considering how good Volpe's been and how good Crochet's been.
He's out. Out.
I know. Gabe went and traded Volpe to Amish instead of trading him back to me. Rude.
Hey. 0-1. No ball, 2 strikes. Ball 1, no strike. Hey. That's ball 2.
Oh, that's right. That was the Jackson Cheerios trade too. I forgot. I thought for some reason I thought the Langford Jackson deal was completely separate, but we ended up doing a 3 for okay. 4-3 Orioles. Yay.
Off the plate, ball 1. Hey.
Crochet's probably been
One
one of
ball,
your
no
best
strike.
pitchers all year, Gabe.
No, he's out.
Let me guess, Westberg. You know, there was a year or two where I did not play fantasy sports because it it was starting to over because I started getting in the mindset. Well, if the Orioles got to lose, at least lose to the players that matter on my um at least lose to the players who were on my fantasy team. Like even part of me last night was, well, if the Orioles got to lose, at least the save went to Scott Barlow. Like, and I don't want to think that way because I would rather lose every game in fantasy and have the Orioles do well and make the World Series and all that than do well in fantasy.
Nope.
So
Outside.
a couple years back when I got so, for lack of a better word, obsessed with doing well in fantasy that it was like it was starting to overtake my fandom of the Orioles. I was like, okay, I got to take a step back. Don't you want those cool emojis, Gabe? MJ, if I remember right, Amos is streaming tonight. Because it's a stream I really want to watch. I want to watch Ace and Lacey pitch. Hey, you can get revenge for all those Corbin Burnses. Make sure you consider liking, subscribing, and possibly joining the bird nest.
Gunnar Henderson.
I got a ball, 1 strike.
Well, been looking good so far. Clearly, he's looking better in this game than he has in real life so far. Even though he does have the lead. On the one fantasy baseball podcast I listened to, they said David Fry is starting to come back to earth.
Leading up for the Royals, the right fielder.
Yeah! 0-1's the count.
The batter, number 2, designated hitter, Garrett Hepson.
Ooh. Believe it or not, Gabe, I might do a triple header. I might just play all 3 games in this series. But Ken, why didn't you at least get up and try to go after that? Watch what you say, because McCann is a very beloved player in Baltimore. I will go on record saying I think he's one of the best backup catchers in baseball. As far as how he works with the pitching staff, he does have a good, he does come up clutch for us a lot. Is he the most consistent bat in the world? No. But ask Gabe. You make fun of James McCann in Baltimore, then be fighting words. Nice play.
Yep, that ball went out. Ball 2. 2-0.
I'm telling you, Brian, I'll give you the same thing I told Amos. With 2 strikes, until you get to like 3-2, use contact swing. You'll strike out less and you'll put the ball in play more. And once you put the ball in play, you never know what can happen. And I tell you, I've hit home runs on contact swings.
He's safe.
Ryan O'Hearn trying to come through against his former ball club.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Ball 2. 2-2 to count.
I will happily take the walk.
That's
Yep.
ball 4.
The batter, the right fielder.
Making stuff work, Lugo work a little bit in this inning. One second, everybody. base hit Anthony Santander, and the steal from Westberg pays off, even though he would have ended up at second anyway after O'Hearn's walk. 1-0 Orioles. Down the other line for Colton Cowser, 2-0 Orioles. Oh, joy.
Now batting, the third baseman, Ramon Urias. Leading up for the Royals, the catcher, Salvador Perez.
He's out.
The batter, number 7, shortstop, Bobby Witt Jr.
Oh, he is a former Gold Glover.
0-1. Oh, and 2. Ball. Got it.
Dude, your team just took the lead and you're complaining. You're complaining.
0-1's the count.
Well, here's the thing. The rookies are performing in AAA, and in some cases, I'm not specifically saying your rookies, in AAA and AA. And there is a world of difference between AAA, AA, and the majors. Look at Jackson Holliday, #1 prospect in baseball. Was killing it in AAA, came up to the majors, and poo-pooed the bed.
Ball, that's too high.
No, I don't know what prospect list you're looking at, but I mean, once I'm sure once Holiday loses his now the new list hasn't come out. There's usually a list that comes out sometime in June or right before the draft. He may leapfrog Holiday, but as of right now, Holiday is still listed as the number one prospect in baseball. Good Lord, 8-4 now. Orioles may never win a game again.
Hey. 0-1.
I see. I have my fantasy thing up.
Hey. No balls, 2 strikes. Three.
Oh, Lord.
Now batting, shortstop, Gunnar Henderson.
Ball 1, no strike. Two balls, no strike.
There you go. So Skeens isn't even.
Leading up for the Royals, the left fielder, MJ Melendez.
Hey.
Clearly, my Cole Urban is playing better than the Cole Urban in real life because I still have a 2-1 lead.
Counts 1-0. I got 1 ball, 1 strike.
I told you don't sleep on James McCann because McCann can't. Whoops! I just gave up a home run to Nelson Velasquez. That curveball did not go where I wanted it to.
Nope, that's foul.
Well, you got to want to do it.
baseman, Michael Garcia.
Ball in.
Yeah.
Ball back outside. Reno.
Yep.
Ball four. Take the base.
Come on, Cole.
Ball one. Ball down.
What in the world is that noise when the Royals score a run? And why have I never heard it in Amos's stream?
No, that's low.
I'm assuming he must have taken that off because I've never heard that in any of Amos's streams.
Ball. That's just out. The count's full. Out on the tag.
I'd rather see him be a fit for the Baltimore Orioles.
Out. Ball.
Now batting, right fielder, Anthony Santander.
Tony Taters ties it up. I wish that was real life, but unfortunately it's just a game.
Ball. That pitch is out.
3-3. Eight to 6, and it's only the bottom of the fourth. That's never heard of it.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Count full. Ball, that's out. He's out.
Nope. Delete. Delete.
Now pitching for the Royals, number 35, Ripken.
Goodbye, home run. Sorry, go ahead. Flying squirrels. They just want to talk about your performance and how you're starting the season. Okay.
Ball one. Ball one, no strike. One ball, two strikes.
Oh. Wizenhunt. Hello, Frog. How's Frog?
Now batting, the left fielder,
That's a good thing. I've not stopped streaming since we last spoke. You got to feel it. You got to feel it down in your plums. Now if the Orioles keep playing the way they are, I told you, we may never win a game again.
Gunnar Henderson.
Ball, that pitch is out.
I think they're just tired because honestly, like the schedule makers did the Orioles no favor. Who played? I don't remember the last time I seen a team play 29 games in 30 days.
1-1.
We've had one day off in the entire month of June. Regular 9 to 5. The only person that has more time off has more time. Well, no, I don't know. Yeah, well, at least I know Tokyo and Japan are not two different countries.
Now pitching for Baltimore, number 71, Jacob Webb.
Well, apparently can field foul balls with his bare hand.
One ball, two
I
strikes.
thought that was Jose Ramirez. It was Josh Naylor. Oh, and that guy reached like back behind it, like with his cell phone in his other hand. That's why I was surprised when you so confidently said I could do it. Bull, no offense, I call BS. Did you take a look at that yet, Frog?
Ball, that's low. Ball, that's off the plate.
Brian says he could do that. Well, he's retracting it now, but initially he said I could do that. And like you said, that's 100 miles an hour off the bat. And you see he reached back. Like it wasn't like he caught it.
Ball four.
Yeah. That was, what in the world did I just see it? Yeah. What in the world just happened in my game? I'd never seen that. Like the CPU runner did not go to second base.
Ball, that's out. Ball, that's out. He's dead.
Oh, good Lord. Well, here's the thing. Until you show people what you have to offer, they're not gonna like jump for like.
Thanks, he's in.
No problem.
Hey.
I know. I got you. No. No.
Ball, that's in.
My responsibilities have changed. At my request.
Now pitching for the Royals, number 46, John Schreiber.
1-1.
The batter, the designated hitter, Ryan O'Hearn.
Out.
Now batting, the right fielder, Anthony Santander.
Ball.
If you're getting video game numbers, it's time to make the video game harder. Yeah, he did take my advice. He's on dynamic. I've tried to convince Amos to go switch to dynamic, but
Now batting, the center fielder, Colton Cowser.
Yeah. 0-1. Ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Two one.
well, aren't you just a slugger?
Now pitching for Baltimore, number 55, Dylan Tate.
Ball. No. Ball 3.
Because they're the team that wanted to take you.
No, that's in. Ball 4.
It's Chase Young. It's Josh Young's brother.
The batter, number 19, second baseman,
Well,
Matty.
here's the thing. But in Road to the Show, as I understand it, they can come to you and suggest a position change.
Ball 2. You got 2 balls, 1 strike.
Me no like Papa. Me like Pizza John's, which is a local place around here.
That's the ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count.
Actually, I did not change that. Now I'm assuming that Amish must have done that because I sure as heck didn't. Honestly, like now that I can come into Discord freely, like I don't know how often I'm even going to be in that PlayStation chat because
0-1.
what is the necessarily the because see being in here, Amos could come in here if he wanted to, Pigtown could come in here if he wanted to. You know, it's just in my opinion, it's easier. Yeah. Yeah. Most people that have cell phones, their smartphones are smarter than them. I did have a patient one time tell me that they don't have a smartphone because they don't want anything in their house smarter than they are. Well, yeah, this is a MLB The Show clip, right? There, I was going to say there's an MLB The Show. You're fine, and the only reason I deleted some of your messages the other day is you were talking about the show in an Orioles
That's a ball.
category. If you ever have any questions about my Discord, feel free to ask Frog because he's pretty much my primary admin. Let's face it, him and Pigtown are my ad. Like, if it's already in I'll look in the PlayStation. You don't have to send it both places.
1-1.
Which makes wait a minute, you don't swing by accident. You swing because you don't pay attention to what the coach tells you. You don't. There, I accidentally swung the bat. No offense, you don't accidentally swing a bat. Yeah.
0-1's the count. Ball match outside.
That's when you sit the ball down or the controller down and you. So, Brian, question for you. Since you have superhuman abilities and you can catch foul balls with your bare hand, if you were actually in a batting cage against Paul Skeens, do you think you get the bat on the ball? I'm not saying get a hit, just get the bat on the ball. Come on, the fact that you're even thinking about this and the answer is not no. I thought you always tell me you have to be honest. So be honest. What the hell? Yeah, I don't. I,
1-1.
okay. You cannot put it. You cannot try to bunt. You have to make contact with an actual swing. I don't even care if the ball goes foul. You just have to make contact. Do you think you could make contact? Okay, I respect the honesty. Because if you'd have told me you could hit balls, I'd have really called the. Which is not in Japan or Tokyo. Hey, wait a minute. You swung or you slung? It sounded like you said you swung. Well, that's not what you. That is. I'm not being mean, but that is not what you said. You said you slung. I slung the ball, Dad. I slung the ball. Well, damn it, you're supposed to swing. That's okay. Let's. Oh, so, Frog, would you like to chat one on one, or am I playing a third game, or it's entirely up to you? Sure. Well, I won't. I have to work in the morning. Well, let me look. Well, you're exactly right. You're exactly right, Frog. And that's all I'm going to say. You you can't please everybody. That's why in elections you only have to please just over half. I know we don't have to get deep into it. I'm just saying. I mean, well, never mind. What the heck? I don't usually play 3 games, but let's just do the series. Unless has Amos put out a message saying what time he's streaming? Oh, Yeah, I heard about you two. And I'll just leave it at that. But it was funny. I'll just leave it at that. At least while I'm streaming. Kobe Mayo takes. Damn, he hit it over the batter's eye. 453 feet.
Now batting, third baseman.
Hey, Brian, you might know this because you are a Guardians fan. And this player did used to play for the Guardians before you were born. I just hit a second home run with Kobe Mayo. Do you know? I know he's not in the game, but do you know if Manny Ramirez's um swing animation is in the game? And if so, do you know which one it is? Oh, that's fine. It was a simple yes or no. You didn't need to agonize over it.
Mayo.
Here's the thing: if you have to think about something like that much, that means you don't know. No offense. So let me get this straight. You didn't go to a minor league baseball game because one of the better Indians in Indians history was at the game, and just because you think he's a jackass. Okay. So, but I guess my point. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I mean, let me let you finish.
He's out of there.
Our final line score. First,
Well,
victorious tie. 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors. They left.
well, let me just say this. While while it is kind of rude for a player to leave teams or fans waiting for when you're an hour or so late, he is factually correct that it is none of their business why he was late. That's number one. Number two, I don't care how much if I want to go to a ball game, let me ask you a question. And I just want a simple yes or no answer to this. The seats you were going to be sitting in, were you going to be sitting next to Carlos Bayer during the game? Okay, so despite the despite my request for a lack of a sarcastic answer, you gave me one, and the answer is no. So the the fact, okay, I am not going to let somebody that I don't particularly care for stop me from going to a game, especially if I'm not going to be sitting next to that person. Because, baseball stadiums, even minor league ones, are fairly large places. I'm pretty sure you could avoid Carlos Baerga if you wanted to. Well, yeah, that's called business. Hey, Chihuahua. Brian, I like you and all, but sometimes you really make my head hurt. No, you really don't. With all due respect, you don't. And Frog's just probably sitting there with himself muted and laughing his ass off at me. Is it about anything Road to the Show related with your player? Okay, because otherwise I was going to say I have no opinion. But what would you? Okay, what is two
balls, one strike.
Oh, okay. Let me. You're telling me at a minor league ballpark, they've taken out a row of seats and put in non-functional toilets.
The right fielder, Anthony Santander.
Now, Brian, and I almost want Frog to unmute himself because I know he's going to crack up laughing when I say this. You have said a lot of stupid shit to me. But the idea, but you is there an article? Is there something in writing that says this? Because, quite frankly, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Like, you were literally so. Are you? That is the stupidest. That. But to answer your question. Classic Park. Are you saying plastic like plastic, or are you saying classic? You're saying like classic cars. Okay. I couldn't tell whether you were saying classic or plastic for a second. So, but to answer your question, I have one question. Let's say you're not BSing me here, and this is a real thing. Are the toilets at least clean? Okay. Do they like home toilets, not toilets that one would sit on in public? Are they ones that have the thing where you can put the seat down so you're not looking down at if they're non-functional, I have to assume there's no water in them. So, do you get what I'm saying? Like, is it like a home toilet where you can put the top part of the seat down?
Batting fourth, not shortstop, Bobby Witt
I don't think you understand what I'm asking. Frog, help me out here. I can't believe we're sitting here having a shitty conversation about a shitter. I don't even. I truly. I don't know if I believe you. Like I feel like you're pulling my leg. No, but we literally want you to go to the ballpark, take a picture of yourself on the shitter while sitting there.
Ryan Mountcastle.
Oh God.
Oh, and one.
So, boy, that's just how I'd want to spend my summer. Sitting on a shitter at a ballpark. Well, look at the I- I'm going to get back to that because I can't. I'm not trying to react to that right now. It sounds so disrespectful.
Oh, and two.
I'm, okay, now, Brian, you said they took out an entire row of seats and replaced them with toilets. Well, now, a row of seats, depending on the area of the stadium, that can be two or three seats. That can be 10 to 20. Oh, did you not listen to what I just said? A row of seats, depending on where it is in the ballpark, can be two or three seats. It can be 10 to 20 seats. I'm afraid to ask. There's got to be pictures of this on Google somewhere. There, well, there's if you're counting something, you got to be looking at something. Hold on. What is this ballpark called? Classic. Relax. We're not arguing. Nobody's arguing. Wait a minute. First off, slow down because nobody was arguing with you. No need to snap at anybody. Okay, if this is true, I need this in MLB The Show. I need to be playing in a minor league ballpark with toilets. Well, no, because how do you market that? Come see this shitty team. Okay, I need to see this. I do not believe. No, look, no. I mean, let me be very clear. I mean, no disrespect to you. Even if now, I consider Frog one of my better friends. Even if Frog told me this story, I would call, no pun intended, no bullshit until he showed me a picture of, yes, a row full of, because you realize how ridiculous this sounds. Now, let me ask you a question. Would you understand what I'm saying when I say, like, at a house there you put the toilet seat down, and when you go up you have to put the toilet seat up to even sit there, to even sit on the toilet to use it. Not like at an arena or a stadium where there is no toilet seat. Well, I'm trying to ask you a question, so I know you better be lit. Do you understand what because if it's that kind of toilet where, damn, nice catch, Santander. Um, where I wouldn't actually have to sit on the toilet part, then to answer your initial question, maybe. But but why? But why? Like, I know now. The only thing I'll say, the only reason I haven't completely called BS on this is I know they do all kind of crazy promotions and crazy things to draw in fans, and they always have. But number one, I don't see the rationale of this drawing in fans. And I truly don't understand why a team would do this. Like when you said they put in toilets, I'm sitting there thinking they put a bathroom right in the seating bowl. But you're saying these are actual just toilet seats that people. All right, I'll be right back because all this talk is maybe you have to go to the bathroom. You found it? So I just asked my sister, and she made a good point. I explained to her, I said, would you sit in a toilet seat as opposed to a regular stadium seat? And she said, no, stadium seats are uncomfortable enough as they are. As it is, I couldn't imagine not having an armrest. Because I can't imagine they built armrests onto those toilet seats. Oh, hell no, then. No, no.
The second baseman, Jorge Mateo.
What about you, Frog? Would you sit on a non-functioning toilet for a baseball game? Well, wait a minute. I didn't hear Brian say free ticket. Okay, then I do have one very important question that I have to ask. These are non-functioning toilets, so are we assuming that they are empty on the inside, if you get my drift? I'm trying to be politically correct because I am streaming. No, Brian, you understand what I'm asking you. These are clean on the inside, right?
No ball. One strike.
Well, I've gone to Home Depot and what do you mean it's so early? Never mind. Brian, do you realize what time I get up for work every morning? Do you realize what time when Frog would get up for work in the morning? Did you really just say 11 a.m. is early in the morning?
1-0.
Okay, that's the honest answer. Don't tell me 11 o'clock in the morning is early in the morning. But please don't tell me 11 o'clock in the morning is early in the morning ever again. You do realize, and I'm going to use your buddy, our buddy Amos as you realize Amos is like half done his workday by the time 11 o'clock. It's
He's out.
exactly, so that's why I said don't say any of the 11 o'clock in the morning early in the morning. Oh, it must be nice to. Well, how far is this stadium from your house, roughly?
1-0.
Minutes, because I know you're not walking the miles. Okay. So, if the game, so based off what you just told me, the game starts at 11 o'clock. If you wake up at 10:20 and get dressed, theoretically, and I'm not encouraging you to do this tomorrow, you could call an Uber and get there in plenty of time. Wait a minute. The gates open at 11 o'clock? What time is the... Okay, so even if you wanted to be there in time, you could wake up at 9, which is still a lot later than me and Frog and Amos and people that work regular jobs, get up and be there in plenty of time. You're hurting my soul here. You realize this? Because every time I think, okay, Brian gets it, like, then you make a comment like that, and I realize Brian don't get it. How can you say 11 o'clock in the morning is early in the morning? 11? No. Wait a minute. Stop making this about your mother. Your initial comment was not about your mother. You said it was early in the morning. So you flipped the narrative here. Is it early in the morning for you, or is it early in the morning for your mother? Okay, because that's not what you initially said. So, just curious, since you've now made 11 o'clock about your mother, what time does Brian consider early in the morning? Why do I have a feeling you're just saying that because Frog said he used to get up at 4 a.m. to go to work? What time does Brian wake up in the morning and think, oh, this is early?
No, that's a ball.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I mean, if you're waking up at 4 or 5 p.m., then we have to have a whole other discussion. So wait a minute. 4 to 5 is early. 7 is you feel like you slept all morning. That there's not a big enough gap to. So you're telling me morning is only between 6 and 7? Yeah, it would be so.
The batter, the center fielder, Cedric Mullins.
But thank you for telling me about these seats, because you've actually entertained me, and you had me very intrigued. I actually want for once. I actually want pictures from the next game you go to, which means you'll forget to take them. Not only do I want a picture of the toilet, I want a picture of you sitting on the toilet, looking at it, which sounds completely. I can't believe I just said that.
Now batting, first baseman, Vinny Pasquantino.
For context, if anybody watches this after the fact, there's a gentleman in my Discord claiming that there's a minor league stadium that has replaced the row of seats with toilets, and I don't believe him. And just for the record, for the YouTube record, when you take a picture of yourself on this toilet, you better have your pants up. Oh. Well, because most people, never mind. I'm gonna stop.
Take your base.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you. Okay, I'm very torn. I need yours and Frog's opinion. I'm very torn whether I want you to bring this up in Amos's stream or not. Like, 'cause, like, oh my, no, actually, you need to bring it up in Amos' stream. I need to hear Amos' reaction.
No, that's the ball.
Oh my God. Oh, I'm okay. I'm okay.
1-2.
I'm okay. The Orioles may never win a game again, but I now know that there is apparently a stadium with toilets and oh God.
That's the ball. 1-0.
Brad, I don't know that you can afford him because you traded the one player I was really interested in.
1 ball. 2 straight.
I will look when I'm done streaming. So let me put it to you this way. Hold on. I won't let me text this because I don't want to.
Ball. 1 straight. You're out. That's the ball. 1 ball. No
Yes.
straight.
I would push accept. That's generally how a trade goes through. You push accept or you push reject. Or you hit counter offer. Or in the case of Amish, you make sure the player's on the IL, then you offer the trade. By the way, let me point this out to you. I just want to point one thing out.
Ball.
You screamed bloody murder when you traded for Shane Beaver and he was off on the IL. I didn't hear you complaining when you traded for Tatis and whoever else you got for Acuna when he went on the IL. I didn't hear you complaining. Oh my God, I traded Amish injured players. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Hypocrite.
Save by setting straight.
I told you the guys better be injured. He does not accept He does not accept trades for healthy players. You're waiting for the player to get injured. And that's not worth what I just sent you a text for. Forget about the fact of what team that guy plays for. I'd argue that right now I'd argue right now the only other player more valuable than him in fantasy is Shohei Ohtani. So you had your chance to get and you turned it down. And by the way, Cole Reagan's got a quality start with 11 strikeouts yesterday. Thank you. I'm kind of salty with you too because I asked you several times about Acuna, and you said there was no way you were trading him. If you were even thinking about it, I wish you'd have come to me and said, "Hey, I'm actually looking at possibly trading Acuna. What would you offer me?" You didn't even give me that chance because you could have had your boy. And I could have also made sure you had another left-hander for your rotation.
One ball, one strike.
You're in third place. I don't want to hear that. Dude, what is your problem with Cal Raleigh? And if you need a catcher, I can give you Soderstrom. Why would he give up his starting catcher?
No ball, one strike.
Okay, let me just put it this way. With all due respect, I would rather have Cal Raleigh over Diaz.
Ball two. 2-1.
I would rather have Tyler Soderstrom over Diaz because Soderstrom has multiple position eligibility. Yeah, so does Soderstrom. I don't even care at this point. Well, here's the thing. Whether we like it or not, Major League Baseball players are talented. That's how they got to the majors. They are far more talented than you, I, or Frog will ever be in our life when it comes to baseball. So that's why I get frustrated when I hear fans criticizing any player because you guys couldn't do any better. Like, we couldn't do any better than, I guarantee you. Okay, let me just put it this way. if we were playing a pickup baseball game, you ever seen that episode of Simpsons where Bart picks all the kids in the neighborhood, and every time Milhouse goes to pick, Ken Griffey Jr. walks by, or Roger Clemens walks by, or Darryl Strawberry? Okay, so with all due respect, if you and I were playing a pickup baseball game and I had the choice between picking you or even myself or Gabriel Arias, I'm picking Gabriel Arias. Because the bottom line is the guy had the talent to make it to the majors. And neither you, me, nor Frog, nor any one of our friends, with the exception of Pigtown.
No ball. One strike.
And yes, he did not. Okay. But he made it in Major League Baseball.
No ball. Two strikes.
Okay.
Yep. He's out.
The batter, number 2, shortstop, Gunnar Henderson.
You're out. You're
Take
out.
Barlow. I just said, take Barlow.
Ball. Outside. Out.
Because clearly, in addition to being one of the 2 primary setup men, he's also clearly the backup closer. You're crazy.
He's out.
Well, that's easy. I can offer him Luis Rendifo. Don't ever leave me alone like that again.
Ball.
Well, you kind of need one of them.
No. 1-0. Oh.
Well, that's because his primary shortstop likes to play with children.
That's a ball. 2 balls.
I'm sorry, that was mean.
Hey. 2-2. 3-2.
Yes.
That's four. Take your base.
I like multi-position. I like multi-position guys because it gives you flexibility for your lineup.
Ball.
And Brogue's just in third place because he picks up everybody I dropped. By his own, and he said that by his own admission. So I'm not just taking shots, right, Brogue? But here's the thing. Yes, Manzardo is a good prospect. Manzardo may one day be a very good fantasy player, but has he really done anything in fantasy this year? So okay, then you didn't lose anything really.
3 balls. 1 strike.
Wait a minute. Okay, stop. Now, and I say this with all due respect, Frog, this is a mistake I would expect Frog to make because this is his first year playing fantasy baseball. You do realize that every single player has utility eligibility. Every single player that's not a pitcher. Every hitter has utility eligibility. That's what the U is. Like, oh my freaking... I need that shirt from the Lion King. I don't know if I want to say because it might come across as mean, but I mean it to be funny. My mother has a shirt from the Lion King. It has Scar and the hyenas on it, and it says, "I'm surrounded by idiots."
Ball. High.
No, you're not an asshole. You're just an idiot.
Strike. Ooh. 1-1. Two and one.
I'll give you Soderstrom for Yandy. There's your catcher. Well, then just drop him. I mean, let me rephrase. If there's somebody that you're interested in on free, don't, because God knows how you be goofy enough to just drop him. Did you really not realize that every offensive player could play utility? Well, never mind. You'd have to ask him. We're not him. Well, okay. Are you basing it off what that little trade thing says?
That's the ball.
Did he say? Let me ask you this: did he say he needs utility, or are you reading the trade block? Okay, that literally, when you click utility, that literally just means you would be willing to listen on any player, because any player can play utility, except for pitchers. But but instead of but instead of agonizing over what he means by utility, why don't you are in the group text? Why don't you ask him what he means? And just call him Amish. Don't call him you know what.
Two balls, two strikes.
Brian, you make me want to drink. Wait a minute, time out. Why do you care if your grandfather hears me say that you make me want to drink? My desire to drink, or what the heck you're doing to make me want to drink? Well, I would just tell him, Brian's acting like Brian. And I would actually no, I would probably tell your grandfather to respectfully mind his business, because I'm having a conversation with a person that is over 18 years old. That makes you an adult. And two adults are having a conversation. He could see his ABC his way out. But that's just me. Oh my God, he's not going to. Wait a minute. You're not going to lie. So that also means you're going to be honest. That means just.
No ball, one strike.
Yeah, there's a whole, and Frog and I have had this conversation about if you don't think a player is going to keep it up, you do what's called selling high.
Gunnar Henderson.
Something I've been trying to tell him for weeks, to sell high on Luis Gill, because. Okay, let me ask you a question. And Frog, forgive me here. You said you need a pitcher, right?
Nope, ball one.
Correct. This is what? No, I'm asking Brian. He said you need a starting pitcher, right? So, and Frog, indulge me here for a moment. Hypothetically speaking, what would you give Frog for Luis Gill? You would give him silence. Okay, I'm just curious. Now, mind you, I'm not speaking for Frog. I don't know if Frog. I'm just. While the three of us are in here, I'm just curious. Mind you, if the All-Star game was today, Luis Gill would probably be starting for the American League,
Oh, that's a ball.
despite the fact that he got blown up by the Orioles, and that was the last time they won, and it's been depressing since.
Close. Strike.
See, that's you are letting your
That's a ball.
you're letting your fandom for your favorite team influence your decisions too much. Like, because Number one, okay, you want David Fry in there when he's facing a lefty. I get that, but you don't necessarily have to play him at catcher. You can play him at other positions.
Our final line score this afternoon. First for the victorious Orioles. 5 runs, 10 hits, no errors. They left.
But here's the thing. Brian. Number one, baseball has changed from when I was younger. Like a 230 hitter is the equivalent of a 260 hit, and if the 3 or 4 or 5 hits that a player is getting for you a week are productive hits, meaning home runs, extra base hits, they're scoring runs, they're, in the case of Cal Raleigh, stealing a base, that's valuable. And I I I don't think, he's a catcher. Does he strike out a lot? Okay, that is one downside. But I you get so down on players for no reason. Now I do the same thing. That's why I make so many free agent moves. But like, you wouldn't even have Cal Raleigh on your roster if I hadn't pointed out to you that it was a stupid move to drop him in the first place. Because I was close to picking him. I was actually close to picking him up. All right. Well, this stream is over. I will see you all next time. Thanks for being here.